Nyonge. All right, well, a bit of a twist there, but all the same, we are here. It is time for TV47 Weekend Edition with me, Linda Alela, and to be precise, her say, where we get that moment with the first daughter, Charlene Ruto, just to get to know what her plans are, especially as she champions for the youth and of importance, smart agriculture. An interview that you certainly do not want to miss out on. She spoke to our very own Elizabeth Mutuku. And of course, we get to listen to what plans she has. You certainly need to stick around. If you're a youth, perhaps this is that interview that you've been waiting for. And of course, you join in the bandwagon of changing the things in the country for the better. This is her say. My name is Linda Alela. We take a look at the highlights and then we come back to news. On TV47 Weekend Edition.
Huyo kijana tena tunataka tuende hapo kwa polisi tumuoje vizuri. Huyu mtoto akulia hapa.
A 17-year-old boy kills his 4-year-old cousin, throws her body in a pit latrine in Ikolomani, Kakamega County.
Hao vijana nitawasupport na shilingi milioni 1 ndio waweze kupanua kazi yao.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has urged Mount Kenya region leaders to remain united ahead of the 2027 polls. And we shall tell you why Raila Odinga's romance with President Ruto could jeopardize his relationship with retired President Uhuru Kenyatta. Back to the broadcast. And it is time for TV47 Weekend Edition. Our sign language interpreter is none other than Rhoda Nyamai. We start off as, of course, the decision by President William Ruto to allow police officers to proceed on a mission to Haiti has raised concerns among section of legislators and Kenyans in general. This concern is particularly focused on the poor state of security in the North Rift region. And of course, they're calling upon the president to address this, of course, where residents are currently enduring constant attacks from bandits. And as Paul Kirobi reports, many are questioning just whether the resources and manpower should, of course, be channeled to addressing the pressing security issues as opposed to taking it all the way to Haiti. We'll be bringing you that story shortly. But of course, we step onto another one, and that is in relation to, let's take a look at that. Which one do we take, Mr. Director? All right, we cross over to Kakamega County to an unfortunate piece where Ikolomani residents are reeling in shock. That is following the discovery of the body of a 4-year-old child in a pit latrine. And of course, the child was allegedly killed and dumped there by her 17-year-old cousin in what police are describing as a revenge mission. The suspect reportedly had a quarrel with his aunt, who is the child's mother, pushing him to commit this heinous crime. Let's take a look.
Ikolomani residents in Kakamega County still remain in shock after a 17-year-old boy allegedly killed his 4-year-old cousin and dumped her body in a pit latrine.
Askari amemsika tu, akamwambia mtoto nilitupa kwa choo.
The young girl's body was discovered in the latrine after the main suspect, who is in grade 8, admitted to committing the heinous act.
Huyo kijana tena tunataka tuende hapo kwa polisi tumuoje vizuri. Huyu mtoto akulia hapa. Huyu mtoto aliuliwa nyumbani.
According to the deceased girl's mother, who is also the suspect's aunt, there's a disagreement between them over a phone whose origin she had questioned.
Nilitupa kwa choo. Mtoto akachukua simu yangu yenye nilikuwa nimeweka kwa moto. Akatupa kwa kibuyu ya maji. Akafika hapa kwa barabara. Akasimama. Askari amemsika tu. Akamwambia mtoto nilitupa kwa choo.
Neighbors have expressed concerns that the girl may have been defiled before being dumped in the pit latrine.
Kwa sababu mtoto kitu ya kwanza amefungwa na hana nguo. Huyu mtoto anaweza kuwa ametumiwa na ametupwa huko ndani. So muangalia watoto, ukiacha mtoto angalia umeachia nani mtoto. Usiachie mtu yeyote mtoto kumaanisha ati sasa ni mlezi.
They're now demanding that the suspect undergoes a psychiatric assessment to determine what motivated him to commit such a terrible act.
Serikali iende angalia akili yake kama iko timamu. Kwa sababu atuoni ni nini kilisababisha yeye kuua mtoto mdogo hivi.
The suspect is currently in police custody as investigations to the matter continues. Meanwhile, the body of the deceased has been moved to Kakamega Referral Hospital mortuary.
Sasa sijui alimunyonga, alimrebu, sijui.
Vera Alberta, TV47.
Well, certainly an unfortunate piece there. Now, with less than 48 hours left to the anticipated nationwide doctors' strike, the Kenya National Union of Nurses have equally threatened to join the strike. And if the Inspector General of Police, Japheth Koome, fails to apprehend the rogue officer who attacked KMPDU Secretary General Dr. Davji Atela.
From Monday next week, Kenyans might find it rough accessing services in different health facilities across the country following the much-anticipated nationwide doctors' strike. And for those who believe that they will be lucky enough to access the services in private facilities might have their hopes dashed as the Kenya Medical Practitioners Pharmacist and Dentist Union in Central Branch maintain that even private facilities will not be spared.
We know so well that if we stop services at public institutions and then we leave private institutions, those with money will go to the private institutions. For this suffering to be reduced, then we must stop services in both the public and the private institutions.
The Kenya National Union of Nurses Secretary General Seth Panyako now says that the Thursday incident where his KMPDU counterpart was shot by a tear gas canister was a sinister plan to silence the medics from fighting for their rights.
And therefore want to tell the President and the Inspector General of Police to immediately ensure that the police officer who attempted to assassinate Dr. Atela is arraigned, is disciplined, and is taken to court and is fired from the service. If that does not happen, as the nurses of this country, we are going to join the doctors in protecting the rights of the Kenyan workers.
The culprit ought to face justice, and IG Koome and CS Kindiki to resign for failure to instill work ethos in the service.
Panyako now wants Health CS Susan Nakumicha to break her silence on the matter, further faulting the new Social Health Insurance Fund and the scrapping of the Edu Afya program.
Kwa hivyo sisi tunataka waziri wa afya ambaye ni Nakumicha ujitokelezee leo hii uambie dunia msimamo wako ni upi kwa haya madhara ambao Daktari Atela alipata.
Elsewhere, members of KMPDU and the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers in Kisii County have refuted claims that the strike has been called off, saying no memorandum of understanding has been signed with the county government of Kisii at a purported non-gazetted government office. The unionists maintain the strike will go on as planned on Monday, the 4th of March 2024, where all doctors from Nyanza region will be required to converge at Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital to take part in the protest.
But with regard to yesterday's meeting at ATC, no doctor was there. You all know the union officials for KMPDU. None was there, right from the national down to the county level, the county liaison officer. Actually, we were invited by a text, a notice of just 30 minutes. Most of the branch officials were not in the town.
A call has been made to the National Treasury to disburse the funds needed for the employment of the 1,215 medical interns yet to be posted.
Every year, there was money that was set aside for the doctors and for the nurses to do the internship. Now, with the current government, it appears it has an intention to actually remove internship for doctors and for nurses. We are not going to allow that.
Doctors have since raised concerns on the shortage of medical personnel, not forgetting that currently there are only about 5,680 employed medical doctors, which is way below the WHO standard doctor-to-patient ratio of 1:1,000. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47.
And our editorial desk will certainly follow up on that developing story for you. Now, the decision by President William Ruto to allow police officers to proceed on a mission to Haiti has raised concerns among a section of legislators and Kenyans in general. This concern is particularly focused on the poor state of security in the North Rift region, where residents are currently enduring constant attacks from bandits. And of course, as Paul Kirobi reports, many are actually questioning whether then the president or the resources and manpower should be focused on addressing the pressing matters that are playing out right here at home. Let's take a look at that.
Kenya will be sending over 1,000 police officers abroad to Haiti to deal with rebel groups destabilizing the Haitian government. This decision has sparked a debate among Kenyans, including legislators who are now voicing their opinions on the matter. Former Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa has criticized the decision, particularly highlighting that certain parts of the country like the Rift Valley are still facing security challenges. Wamalwa said that deploying such a large number of police officers abroad at this time is a mistake. This as Bumula MP Wamboka Wanami accused the Ruto-led administration disregarding court orders that halted the deployment of officers.
Na huko Haiti kumewaka moto. Sisi hapa Kenya tuko na insecurity mingi. Watu wetu wanauawa Baringo, hata hapa kwetu hapa nyumbani iko insecurity. Hapa iko insecurity ama iko. Sasa sisi tunataka polisi wabaki hapa Kenya wafanye kazi yetu.
President William Ruto has defended the decision of sending the police officers to Haiti. According to Ruto, it is crucial for Kenya to assist in providing security in Haiti.
And I ask members of the international community that we owe it to the children in Haiti that have no peace, to the women in Haiti that experience violence, and to fellow humankind that have no security.
However, majority of Kenyans have criticized the government for prioritizing the mission in Haiti over addressing security issues in various parts of the country.
Wamelazimisha kwamba mapolisi wetu lazima waende Haiti, na kule Haiti ndivyo tunavyoendelea kuona katika TV na matelevisheni ni kwamba wale ambao wamechukua uongozi wa serikali ya kule ni majambazi ambao wako tayari kupigana vita, na wako tayari sana vile wamedai juzi kwamba wako tayari kupiga wanajeshi wetu wa Kenya.
Meanwhile, tensions remain high in Haiti for the second consecutive day, with disruptions reported at the Port-au-Prince airport. The U.S. Embassy in Haiti has issued a security alert warning of gunfire and disruptions to traffic near the airport terminals. As a result, the embassy has temporarily halted travel of official U.S. personnel to the airport and advised those already there to exercise caution. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
And Interior CS Kithure Kindiki has issued a strong warning to the Meru security team that is following the surging cases of cattle rustling in the northern parts of Meru County. According to the CS, the situation involving marauding armed criminals causing harm and, of course, economic impoverishment must be conclusively eradicated. He has issued a 2-week ultimatum to police officers in Meru County to put an end to cattle rustling in the area, stating that failure to do so will then result to disciplinary action, that is including possible dismissal. Here's Kisewa Emory with that.
Every day there is a raid. Every 2 days there is a raid. This cannot be left to continue anymore.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has issued a stern warning to the Meru security team in response to the increasing incidents of cattle rustling in the northern parts of Meru County. Kindiki says that police officers colluding with criminals for personal gain will face termination and prosecution rather than being transferred to other workstations, as has been the norm.
We are taking action against officers who are already serving, either in uniform or without uniform, who we get evidence that they are part and parcel of the problem. They are looking the other way and allowing criminals to get away with crime. Some of them are being induced through monetary gains to allow criminals perpetuate other crimes, including narcotic and the transportation of aliens, illegal aliens through our country. Others are being used to assist drug traffickers to achieve their evil schemes. So those few officers who are damaging the image of our country's security formations.
Speaking during a security briefing at Mutuati in Meru County on Saturday, Kindiki insisted on the urgency of addressing the persistent livestock theft menace. He has issued a 2-week ultimatum for the Security and Intelligence Committee of Meru County to eliminate the threat of livestock rustling in Mutuati and other regions of Meru North.
Any other area that is experiencing repeated livestock raids and the death of the citizens of this area from criminals who come to take their cattle. Make it your priority security number 1. And we, together, will work and eliminate this problem in the shortest time possible.
Last November, an additional 140 National Police Reservists were deployed in Meru North to supplement police efforts in tackling livestock rustling. Kindiki has urged Kenyans to cooperate with security agencies and national government administrators by providing intelligence on criminal activities. Kesewa Emory, TV47.
Now, survivors of the tragic road accident in Mundika area, Busia County, have recounted the harrowing experience that led to the collision. The survivors, who are currently receiving treatment that is in hospital, have expressed their frustration over the poor services at the Busia hospital. This as Busia Governor Paul Wutuma urged the national government to consider making the Busia-Kisumu road dual to prevent similar accidents in the future. Anastasia Mukabi with that.
2 victims of the Busia road accident that claimed the lives of 2 people have shed light on the events leading to the devastating collision. The assistant driver of the bus recounts how the trailer driver lost control while attempting to evade the probox, ultimately resulting in the collision with their bus.
Ilitoka Busia saa 7 tukiondoka kwenda Mombasa. Tulipokaribia na Mundika, niliona probox zinakuja na lori inakuja. Ile wa probox akapiga breki. Ile lori ikafanya kutoka inahepa probox. Ikapiga basi mbele ikaturusha pande ya kushoto. Lakini dereva alijaribu sana kukimbia kushoto. Lakini hivyo alimgonga.
Judith Namanga, who was traveling with her son from Busia to Kisumu, shares her harrowing experience.
Kutoka hapo nilikuwa sina fahamu mpaka usiku kama nishughulikia kwa theater. Sasa ndo kasikia kuelewa watu, niwaelewa kama kitu saa 4 usiku. Nilikuwa sikumbuki chochote, sijui mtoto ameanguka wapi, lakini wale wametukimbilia kututoa ndio mleta. Lakini mtoto vile alivunjika mguu alikuwa sawa, anaweza kuongea.
At the Busia hospital, where survivors are being treated, family members are calling for improved services to aid in the recovery of their loved ones.
Bangwa kupata huduma anayostahili kupata. Yeye kama dereva wa Tahmid aliumia sana. Ile huduma alipewa hapa ilikuwa duni.
Dia tufike hapa jana, nilifika hapa jana saa 12 kasorobo. Nilimpata tu pale amelala, hakuna huduma alikuwa amepewa.
The frequent accidents along the Busia-Kisumu road have prompted Busia County Governor Dr. Paul Wutuma to call for the intervention of the national government, saying that there is urgent need to expand and improve the road to prevent further loss of life.
We have seen this road is really worn out, and it's so narrow, it's worn out, and it is becoming a hazard. I really want to urge those concerned at the national level that please, let's give this corridor some attention that it deserves. It's a major economic hub if you look at it.
Anastasia Mkabi, TV47.
Well, we wish them quick recovery. Now it's time that we take a quick short break. Remember that interview with the passionate, that is Charlotte Ruto, in relation to matters youth as well as championing for women interest and equally smart agriculture should be coming your way any time from now. We take a short break, we come back with more news and then to that interview.
Ni mojawapo wa viongozi wanaofahamika zaidi kwa masuala ya uongozi humu nchini.
from a unique polygamous family.
You know, I have 2 families.
Yes. You're saying that you never experienced anything like disagreements in the family?
Not even up
That was a unique one.
Not even up to now.
To being a clergy.
I was appointed a senior pastor, then later deputy bishop.
And today, he's headed one of the most crucial institutions, and that is EACC, being the chairman. This Thursday, 7:30 p.m. itakuwa nikikupa story na historia ya kikasisi na Bishop David Oginde katika Mfahamu Kiongozi. Hivyo basi usikose.
Msikilizaji.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali.
Nikuwe na Nisani kama 10 na pia nikuwe menua minibus. Minibus niko niwa.
Kushinda unaangalia simu ya mzee. Soma Biblia ama ingia kwa washroom ujisugue. Mpaka nimetoa hivi.
I don't know whether any of my children would want to get into the political field. Sijajua bado.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30 kuendelea.
Edition, we proceed to more stories, and tonight, as the new coalition leader Raila Odinga's dalliance with the President William Ruto might jeopardize his relationship with retired President Uhuru Kenyatta. And of course, according to political analysts, the relationship between Ruto and Raila has the potential to alienate Uhuru because Ruto wields state and political power. And as Apollo Kamau reports, a victory for Odinga at the African Union Commission will only strengthen the Ruto-Raila handshake.
President William Ruto and Azimio leader Raila Odinga's handshake in Uganda may have strengthened their dalliance, including mending fences between Odinga and Uganda President Yoweri Museveni. But something was off about it. Ruto's endorsement for Odinga's quest for the African Union Commission chairmanship has tilted the scales in the new power arrangement between Odinga and retired President Uhuru Kenyatta.
With riders going in.
Political analyst Professor Peter Kagwanja argues President Ruto holds more sway now over Odinga than Uhuru.
If you don't have power, as Uhuru stands now, nobody will be enthusiastically fighting for you or for your cause unless you're financing it. And sometimes, if the other one can finance, why do I need to go here? So power is a major issue in post-election realignments.
Former blossom buddies in the early days of the ODM party until 2012, when the ICC cases and Uhuru campaign set in. Ruto and Odinga's bromance is not strange in the country's political setup, amid questions on what their unique handshake means for the country's politics in the run-up to the 2027 polls.
Now, Raila Odinga and William Ruto don't need to talk too much because they have worked together. They worked together in 2007. I'm sure they worked together earlier. But the truth of the matter is that what we are witnessing now is a handshake. What follows after the handshake might be incremental. Maybe a reform here which accommodates somebody from Raila's side. Maybe some business here and there. The handshake, the results of the handshakes are more complex than meets the eye.
The Azimio leader has been quick to defend the opposition's role in the new arrangement, saying it will not be compromised. Uhuru, who is said to favor a Kalonzo-Eugene joint ticket in 2027, despite opposition from ODM quarters, is said to have been the best candidate for the AUC post. Insiders in the Uhuru camp say former Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohamed and other allies had prevailed upon the former president to go for the AUC seat, but Kenyatta rejected the proposal due to the bad blood between him and Kenya Kwanza.
Wengine wanajiuliza ni kulia, wengine unacheka, lakini Kenya ni nyumbani tu. Tunaendelea.
Reports further suggest Uhuru wanted to support former Tanzania President Jakaya Kikwete for the post, claims the Uhuru camp has dismissed as hogwash. On paper and experience, Uhuru was the best candidate for the post, according to Kagwanja. Apul Kamau, TV47.
And more on politics, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has emphasized the need for Mount Kenya region to remain united to ensure meaningful development. Speaking in Mbeere South constituency, Embu County, where he held a fundraiser that is for the completion of the church, the DP said the region's strength is in its unity. And here is Valerie Moses with the details.
Deputy President emphasized the importance of regional unity, stating that when the region speaks with one voice, development is realized across the counties.
Ya sisi katika eneo hili la Mlima Kenya, tunataka tukae na umoja kama kitu kimoja. Na nyinyi mnajua watu ya Mbeere na watu ya Embu. Umoja wetu kama Mlima Kenya ndio nguvu yetu. Na siku tulikuwa tunakubali kugawanywa, tulikuwa tunakaa nje ya serikali na nje ya maendeleo.
Leaders from Embu expressed their support for President William Ruto and the Deputy President, noting their strong interest in the implementation of key projects in the county.
Your Excellency, Mheshimiwa Rigathi, you are the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. We shall support you. I want to thank you because you have supported the people of Embu. When the appointment of Justin Bidan Muturi akuwe Attorney General na ametoka huku Mbeere ilifika kwa meza, you pushed it.
Families and communities. The Bible is not just...
Mbeere North MP Geoffrey Ruku urged leaders to respect the Deputy President following his commitment to advocate the best interest of the region.
Sio kusema ati sasa Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua atikuwe kuna watu ambaye wampatie heshima. Yule kiongozi yoyote ambaye atakataa kupatia Rigathi Gachagua heshima yake kama naibu wa rais, kama kiongozi wa jamii yote ya Mount Kenya, huyo tutaonana na yeye macho kwa macho, humundu.
Jesus, Deputy President, announced that the government is implementing several programs to address water shortages in Embu County, aiming to boost agricultural production. Gachagua said that a total of 2.1 billion shillings has been allocated for various water projects in Mbeere South and Mbeere North to elevate the challenges residents are facing.
Huyu President William Ruto ndio rais ambaye atatatua shida ya maji hapa Mbeere. Tayari tumeweka shilingi milioni 330 ya kuanzisha maji ya Kamburu, itafuata Kiambere na Masinga at a cost of 2.1 billion within 3 years. Tayari hii ya Kamburu iko kwa gazeti, tumetangaza kandarasi. Within 2 months, contractor atakuwa hapa anaanza kazi.
Masomo, you are welcome. Those who are reading.
Now elsewhere, Lamu County leaders have been urged to invest in security for the county to continue attracting investors. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who is on a 3-day visit to the island, emphasized the need for a steady and peaceful coexistence as well environment for the coastal county to develop, as Sheila Chelagat details.
Speaking during his 2nd-day tour in Lamu County, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi commended local leaders for their investment in security. A crucial step in the wake of last year's terrorist attacks that affected several villages in Lamu. These attacks had forced many residents to flee their homes, significantly impacting the local economy. However, the area is now slowly recovering.
Tumeona hali ya utulivu na hali ya amani ambayo haijawahi kuonekana kwa muda mrefu. Tunataka iwe na nafasi ya kuhakikisha itachangia vilivyo kwa uchumi wa Kenya na uchumi wa wakaaji wa Lamu.
Mudavadi stressed on the importance of maintaining a steady and peaceful environment in Lamu to continue attracting investors, urging leaders to ensure the area remains conducive for investment.
Wale wanataka kuweka factories za korosho hapa, na haya ni mambo mazuri ambayo tunaanza kuona kwa county ya Lamu. Kwa hivyo mimi ni kuwasihi tu kwamba tukiwa hapa kama wa Kenya, nyinyi ndio front line yetu, nyinyi ndio wale mtatusimamia mbele ili eneo hii tubadilishe kabisa, lakini la muhimu tuwe na utulivu na hali ya amani, ndio haya yote ambayo tunazungumza yatendeke. Tulipokuwa tukitafuta nafasi ya kuja hapa Lamu, tuliambiwa kwamba karibu ndege zote hakuna nafasi mpaka labda kati ya wiki ambayo inakuja. Yaani kuonyesha kwamba kuna watalii wengi na watu wengi ambao sasa wanaanza kurudi kuvutiwa kutembelea Lamu, na hilo ni jambo la muhimu na la kufurahisha.
During his visit, Mudavadi inspected the ongoing construction at Manda Airport, which is expected to be completed this month. He at the same time inspected the construction progress of the Kenya Ports Authority waiting area at Mokowe Jetty.
Lapset ni corridor ambayo ni ya muhimu sana 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 katika eneo hii, ili mataifa ambayo ni majirani lakini hayana uwezo ama hayana nafasi kuwa na coastline kama Ethiopia, kama South Sudan. Tunataka Lapset imarishwe kwa sababu hapo ndio tutapata uchumi tukienda siku za mbeleni.
Mudavadi will conclude his 3-day tour on Monday with the aim of fostering collaborative partnerships with the Lamu County Government. Sheila Chelanget for TV47.
And to sports, KCB RFC assistant coach Dennis Mwanja says that the team now shifts his attention to the upcoming clash against Cabra Sugar after losing 7-21 to Menengai Oilers in match day 10 at the Nakuru Showground earlier today. The home side started the match on the right footing with Jada Abdon scoring a try that is inside 7 minutes of play. Abu Twalib Wesonga added the extras to give Oilers a 7-0 lead. KCB's Lionel Ajeliti broke away from the Oilers defense to score a beautiful try. They converted to bring his side level on 7-7 before Captain Griffin Musila, that is, was seen beamed for a high tackle on his opponent. Jeliti missed a glorious score or opportunity to put his side on the lead after missing a penalty kick before Abdutwalib Wesonga converted his penalty kick.
The boys we have seen some few things that we need to work on. The coach have noticed a few pointers. We are going to work this coming week. We are going to put in a lot of work, and I think the boys will be ready to come to the game. For the KCB fans, thank you for your support. We love you always. We are going to always keep the game enjoyable, and also we thank the bank for the support also, and our sponsors behind our back. We are going to do well coming the next year.
It's quite disappointing not being able to win the game. Of course, it was going to be a tough game playing at the refinery. We've been humbled here. We will keep up our work, go back to the drawing board and correct, because as it is, there must be one winner. We take the loss and we go back and work ourselves out. When it comes to top of the table clashes, it goes either way. One or two mistakes could either put you ahead or cost you the game. So it worked against us. And also, you never know how many chances might come your way. 50 calls also did not favor us, but that's a story for another day. We need to do our work, our weaknesses, and then reduce them as we look forward to the next weekend. ACB Cabras Games brings out the best of us. So it's a top of the table clash. We're looking forward to that game, but we have a few things to do in terms of the preparation, from the set pieces to the main